I never folded, never told, never will. Death before the...
Put your back against the wall and just slide down. You already know, car show going down June 7th. Get online right now, get your tickets right now. But for the hustlers, I want y'all to understand you gotta stop making business personal.
Where Hollywood secrets unravel, scandals explode, and drama never sleeps, let's dive in. Big Meech thought he was making a major chess move by linking up with Rick Ross, thinking loyalty still had a place in the game. But now he's getting hit with a harsh reality. Loyalty in this industry is nothing but smoke and mirrors. He turned his back on 50 Cent, bet it all on Ross, and now that he's fresh out of prison, betrayal is the only thing waiting for him on the outside. At first, Ross was all in, showering Meech with love, talking big promises about getting him back in the game. But the second things didn't go as planned. Ross wiped his hands clean, flipped the script, and sprinted right back to his old rival, 50. The same man Meech walked away from is now the one holding all the cards, while Ross acts like he was never in the picture to begin with. Now Meech is standing alone, realizing the streets don't play fair anymore. But the real question is, why did Ross move like that? And is 50 Cent the one pulling the strings behind the scenes? Oh, this ain't just a minor industry flip, this goes deep, and trust me, it's about to get real messy. Meech spent years locked down, thinking his comeback was set in stone. Instead, he's stuck with nowhere to turn. The man he turned his back on, 50 Cent, is running the BMF brand like a king. Meanwhile, the man he ran to, Rick Ross, is acting like he never even knew him. Ain't no love in the game, and Meech is learning that the hard way. But here's the kicker, Rick Ross might have moved like a snake, whispering in Meech's ear and trying to split him from 50, but in the end, he might have handed 50 Cent the biggest W of all time.
We 2 days away from the big Meech concert. Get your tickets right now. Make sure everybody flying to the city for this. It's gonna be huge.
Think about it. If Meech could flip on 50 that fast after everything 50 did to keep his name alive with the BMF show, maybe he was never solid to begin with. Maybe he was always just waiting to show his true colors. Now the streets are buzzing, saying Meech is out here scrambling, looking for somebody to blame for why his legacy concert flopped, why nobody's lining up to put him back on his feet. And who's the easiest target? The same man who hyped him up only to leave him stranded, Rick Ross. Because if we really break it down, Meech was nothing but a pawn in Ross's game. Ross wasn't trying to help him, he was trying to take a shot at 50 Cent. The plan was never about loyalty, it was about snatching the BMF legacy for himself just to flex. But the second things got ugly, Ross vanished, left Meech out in the cold, looking crazy. Now Meech is out here trying to paint himself as the victim, but let's keep it real, he played himself.
Oh, look, I do want to do a BMF film because you've been entertained by a lackluster, small budget series. Now it's time to do a big budget film.
And if there's one thing the streets don't respect, it's a man who jumps ship the second somebody flashes a little cash. But how deep does this betrayal run? And is 50 Cent really just sitting back, watching it all fall apart with a smirk, knowing he got rid of a snake without even lifting a finger? Some folks are saying 50 might have even had a hand in shutting down Big Meech's Welcome Back concert. Coincidence, or was this checkmate?
Y'all gonna be disappointed when Lil Baby don't show up? When Skilla don't show up, when Vizzo don't show up? And all these show up?
Let's be real, why would 50 Cent even need to lift a finger when Meech was already setting himself up for disaster? The snitching rumors had been swirling. The so-called legacy concert was giving desperation instead of dominance. And if there's one thing 50 knows how to do, it's sit back and watch his enemies take themselves out. Just 2 hours before the show was supposed to go down, Amarant Bank Arena pulled the plug out of nowhere. No build-up. No explanation. Just straight-up embarrassment. Their official statement. Due to unforeseen circumstances, tonight's show has been cancelled. Refunds will be made at the point of purchase. That's it. No details. No warning. Just a cold shutdown that left Meech looking crazy. And who was sitting back watching it all unfold like he had already written the script? 50 Cent. Before the concert was even announced, 50 had been telling the world it was never going to happen.
Big Meech's giant welcome home concert
I told you it was
was
gonna get
canceled.
What'd I tell you?
The bill was
What did
insane.
I say?
The list of artists on it was...
And when he turned out to be right, oh, he did what he does best, played the pettiest villain in the game. He posted the cancellation flyer like it was a platinum plaque with a caption so slick it could have come with a cigar and a diamond-studded pinky ring. I had nothing to do with this. Please stop calling my phone. I sincerely hope you have a nice day today. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm stronger than you think I am. Now, if you believe that, I got a bridge in Brooklyn to sell you. Because 50 doesn't deny anything, he just makes sure you know he's always 2 steps ahead. And just when folks thought he was done, he hit Instagram again, acting all apologetic like he didn't just watch the whole thing go down with a smirk. If you went all out, bought a fresh fit, and were ready to turn up at the concert, 50 Cent wants you to know he's sorry for whoever's responsible. That's straight-up villain behavior. But the real kicker. When a fan outright accused him of shutting the whole event down, 50 reposted and hit him with, "I apologize for your trip to Miami, but, been playing with me, so you know. Let's build when you'll get back to the city." At this point, 50 ain't even playing the same game as everyone else. He's running circles around them while they're still trying to figure out how to roll the dice. And while Big Meech is out here scrambling to find anyone to blame, the truth is, he did this to himself. Ross set him up. 50 washed his hands. And now Meech is out here alone, no legacy concert, no crew, and no one to clean up his mess. By the time the dust settles, Big Meech is left with nothing. Sure, he's out of prison, but what does he really have? No more support. No more loyalty. And definitely no backing from 50 Cent anymore. And let's not forget the family's main breadwinner, Lil Meech, just lost his job. Lil Meech tried pulling the loyalty card, hoping to save the concert, but that play flopped badly. Now season 4 of BMF is cancelled, and it's not hard to see why. 50 took things to another level by posting Lil Meech's private text messages, putting everything out in the open.
I can't believe a stand-up dude doing his time would suddenly say, "I don't want to be here no more. I'm gonna become a rat."
In those messages, Lil Meech is practically begging for 50's approval, talking about how he'd give him the shirt off his back while still defending his father's ties to Rick Ross. But the real shocker. Lil Meech admitted Ross gave Big Meech money to keep his bills paid until the next season of BMF started. And just when you thought the drama was over, Lil Meech called 50 out for unfollowing him on IG and working with Skilla and Rocket. "They just told me you unfollowed me on Instagram, and now you managing Skilla with Rocket. You know I brought him around you first when you didn't have a clue who he was." Now Lil Meech is out here pleading his case, telling 50, "Now you mad at me when I take the shirt off my back for you? I can't believe this, man. You act like I'm your enemy. I've only ever shown you love and loyalty. I go through my own stuff, but I never switched up on you. Ross, but he gave my dad some bread so he could afford to pay his bills until our next season starts."
Dude, quit playing with dude. You know, I'm gonna say that much. Over and out. I catch y'all when I catch y'all.
And just like that, the truth is out. Big Meech didn't just align himself with 50's biggest enemy, he's now financially dependent on Rick Ross. Ross isn't just sitting back watching, he's actively moving pieces behind the scenes, keeping Big Meech afloat while driving a deeper wedge between him and 50. This ain't just business anymore, this is a calculated move. Even the game had something to say about it. He called out Lil Meech for not riding harder for his father, saying, "Just seen a text from Lil Meech to 50 that got me dying. Hey Lil Meech, you were supposed to be like, F you, this BMF, and I'm standing with my pops. Now, me and Fifth got our own issues, but that is on pause while I post this." Then 50, being as savage as ever, clapped back with, "What's your little August gon' do?" And that had everybody weak. Even the game had to laugh, saying, "Big Meech, you can't let 50 get at you like that." And at this point, 50 doesn't even have to move, he's just sitting back watching his enemies destroy themselves. What started with snitching rumors has now turned into something way bigger. Big Meech is looking less like the boss of his own empire and more like a pawn while Ross plays puppet master, and 50 enjoys the show from the sidelines. The BMF legacy is crumbling in real time, and 50 ain't doing anything but letting it fall apart on its own. Everyone saw the concert failing long before it happened, everyone except the Meeches. And the craziest part? Lil Meech, the one person who was supposed to hold the BMF name high, is now turning against the very man who gave him a career, a platform, and a lifeline while his father was locked up. Instead of standing his ground, Lil Meech is now stuck in the middle of a storm that could have been avoided. He fumbled the loyalty card and now finds himself caught between two heavyweights, and neither side is fully rocking with him.
By one of his best friends, which is Demetrius Flannery, also known as Big Man. In 2011, around that time, Meech reached out to my dad in regards to creating a BMF.
Meanwhile, 50 Cent is not holding back. Now he's taking direct shots at Big Meech's parenting, calling him out for how he handled Lil Meech's future. And just when things couldn't get messier, an old clip resurfaced of Lil Meech hanging out with Rick Ross's daughter to rub efforts. This situation dates back years, but of course, 50 wasted no time throwing his 2 cents in. He straight up questioned why Rick Ross, the same man now playing Big Meech's financial lifeline, never stepped in to help Lil Meech when it actually mattered. 50 made it crystal clear that Ross and the people surrounding Big Meech did nothing to build Lil Meech's future, while he was the one who put up the money to send him to acting school and give him a real shot in the industry. Then 50 really let loose, calling out Big Meech's priorities. Instead of making sure his son was set up for success, he came home moving like the Black Pablo Escobar and, in the process, ruined everything for Lil Meech. This is no longer just a rap feud, this is full-on betrayal. Big Meech had 50 Cent's backing and made a choice that pushed him straight into isolation. Now the damage is done, and 50 is making sure everyone knows he doesn't forget. And with Rick Ross in the mix, the drama only gets thicker. Their beef goes way back to 2008, packed with diss tracks, legal battles, and one infamous lawsuit that cost 50 a smooth $7 million. Just last year, Ross tried to take another jab, calling 50 broke. But if history has taught us anything, 50 Cent never lets things slide, and neither does G-Unit. This story is far from over now. This drama isn't just about bruised egos anymore, it's threatening 50 Cent's business empire. Word on the street is that BMF might be wrapping up for good, despite being tied to his $150 million Stars deal. For most people, walking away from that kind of money would be a major loss. But 50. He plays the long game. If he built it once, he can build it again. And once you cross him, there's no coming back. This is where things start getting real shady because 50 didn't just pull those snitching allegations out of thin air. Rumors about Big Meech cutting a deal with the feds have been swirling for a while now, long before 50 even put him on blast. Whispers were already out there that Meech might have flipped, and at the center of this mess is Tammy Cowens, a woman Meech trusted as a close friend but who also had a well-known reputation as a federal informant. Allegedly, Tammy played a crucial role in helping Meech negotiate the deal that shaved years off his sentence, but let's not sugarcoat it, Meech wasn't walking out of prison early without giving the feds something big in return. And that's something. His longtime friend and business partner Dion Gatling, better known as Cuffy. Cuffy and Meech had been locked in for years, running business together long before Meech got sent away. But when the truth came out, Cuffy's family was blindsided. His daughter, Tamara Gatling, put the pieces together and confirmed the shocking truth. Meech was the one who set Cuffy up.
So BMF is BMF, but not because of 50, it's because of Big Meech, right? That's his story, that's his life, right? So I don't think 50 doing them no favors. They both profited, right? And then I owe you no loyalty. That mean I can't go get money elsewhere, right? If more money get presented to me, right, I'm gonna go get me a bag. I just did 20 years in prison, right? I'm not gonna let nobody stop no bags come in because of y'all beef, bro.
So BMF is BMF, but not because of 50. It's because of Big Meech, right? That's his story. That's his life. So I don't think 50 did him any favors, they both profited, right? And then what? I owe you no loyalty. That means I can't go get money elsewhere, right? If more money gets presented to me, I'm going to go get me a bag. I just did 20 years in prison, right? I'm not going to let nobody stop no bags coming in because of y'all. They only figured it out after identifying one of the confidential informants in the case, and guess whose name kept popping up in the paperwork? Big Meech. But wait, it gets even messier. To try and smooth things over, Meech personally introduced Cuffy to Tammy Cowens. But she wasn't just some random associate, she was working both sides the entire time. Tammy Cowens wasn't just some random associate, she was Meech's power of attorney and literally owned the rights to his life story at the time. So when Meech introduced Cuffy to her, he wasn't just putting him onto a business deal, he was leading him straight into a setup. Cuffy, trusting his longtime friend, thought he was stepping into a legit opportunity. Instead, he ended up behind bars. Once the discovery documents started coming in, the truth hit like a bombshell. CS1, the confidential informant, was none other than Tammy Cowens. But here's the thing, everybody knew Tammy wasn't making moves without Meech's say-so. So when Cuffy's family pressed Meech for answers, he brushed them off like it was all just a misunderstanding. But the deeper they looked, the clearer it became. Tammy might have been wearing the wire, but there was no way she was doing it behind Meech's back. At the end of the day, Cuffy took the fall while Meech walked free. All that talk about loyalty and brotherhood meant nothing when the feds showed up, but even with all the evidence stacked against him, some folks are still bending over backward to defend Meech. And right on cue, young Buck jumped into the conversation, trying to cape for Meech like this was his last shot at staying relevant. But if there's one thing we know about 50 Cent, he doesn't do second chances, and his response was brutal. He wasted no time clowning young Buck, dragging up his past controversies for the world to see. "This fool fell out with me because he liked boys," 50 posted. "I didn't tell him to go loving on ___. He couldn't resist like that, busy, and just like that, the haters came crawling out, accusing 50 of being a culture vulture and stirring up drama just to sabotage promotions. But if you really break it down, who's actually benefiting from all this mess? Because while folks are pointing fingers, 50 is still sitting back, watching everything unfold just like he planned. Both sides have made serious money off the BMF name. Big Meech's story got turned into a hit TV series, putting his legacy front and center for a new generation. Meanwhile, Lil Meech landed a career that wouldn't even exist without 50's backing. Yet somehow, 50 is the one catching heat for calling out the truth. At the heart of it, this isn't about clout, promo, or petty internet drama, it's about loyalty. And if there's one thing everybody knows about 50 Cent, it's that he doesn't tolerate betrayal. He stood by the BMF family, gave Lil Meech an opportunity, and helped him become more than just his father's son. But the second it became convenient, they switched up. Now, 50 is making it crystal clear there's no coming back from that, and believe it or not, Lil Meech is already realizing just how badly he fumbled the bag. After everything 50 did for him, putting him on, paying for acting school, and building his career while Big Meech was locked up, Lil Meech still flipped sides. And now he's paying the price. How bad is it? The same Lil Meech who was living the Hollywood dream on BMF sets is now out here begging for paid promotions for $500. That's not even rent money, that's pocket change compared to the fat checks 50 was cutting him. 1 minute he's living like a star, the next he's hustling for side gigs just to make ends meet. And you already know 50 ain't letting that slide. If there's one thing about 50 Cent, he always gets the last laugh. This entire situation is turning into one of the messiest hip-hop betrayals we've seen in a long time. Big Meech thought loyalty was everything until the same people he trusted started playing both sides. Now, with Rick Ross cozying up to Big Meech and Lil Meech out here struggling for scraps, it's looking like the entire BMF legacy is crumbling in real time. But what do y'all think? Did Big Meech bring this on himself by flipping on his own people? Or is 50 just exposing the truth that nobody else had the guts to say out loud? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and make sure to subscribe for all the latest drama. This mess is far from over, so stay locked in.